Good afternoon, students. I'll share my screen and soon we will start with the lecture. Is the screen visible? Others also reply. Is the screen visible to everybody? Okay, great. So this is something which we started in the last lecture. Meaning of the word organization structure. Now, what is organization structure? It is nothing but understanding of the working job roles and everything else, how how the structure of the company is designed in terms of roles of people is known as organization structure. There is somebody in the library, sorry, not library, waiting room here. Mm, yes. Okay, I've shared a new slide that is organization structure and its 6 dimensions. We'll cover the meaning of the term organization again, and then we can study the 6 elements which you can clearly see in the new slide. Now, what is organization structure? So, organization structure is the way that a company or a organization is set up. It shows the hierarchy level, the different levels of management which exist in an organization. The organization structure defines how the job titles and roles, what are the job titles, what are the roles and responsibilities assigned with that job title in a company. What is organization structure? So it defines how the job titles and roles and responsibilities are assigned within a कंपनी. एक कंपनी में रोल्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज और टाइटल्स का स्ट्रक्चर क्या है वो कौन से डिफाइन या डिसाइड होता है थ्रू ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर. Clear? Now, many of you may think that it is organization structure that relates to entire companies, but it is not just the entire company. A structure, a proper chain of command is also to be established at टीम्स लेवल. एक पर्टिकुलर बिजनेस में कोई टीम है, कोई यूनिट है, कोई डिपार्टमेंट है, उसके अंदर भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर होता है. Now understand that since each organization is unique and has unique needs, उसका काम करने का तरीका अलग होगा, लोग जो वहाँ पे होंगे उसकी रोल्स और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज अलग होंगी. इसीलिए every organization may have a unique organizational structure. There are few important aspects which comes into the picture when we are talking about organization or structuring an organization. Organization को structure करना, उसमें लोगों का post roles decide करना, उस time पे many things come into the picture. 6 of them are clearly stated. The first one is work specialization. The second is departmentalization. The third is chain of command. The fourth is span of control. The fifth is centralization versus decentralization. And the last is formalization. So these are 6 dimensions which help us to understand organization structure better. Starting with the first one, that is work specialization. Work specializations are like roles or job descriptions. They outline what a person is responsible for within an organization or smaller team. So, individual person's responsibilities, work specialization. To what degree are activities divided into separate jobs? हर एक ग्रुप या हर एक जॉब को कितने नीचे तक स्पेशलाइज्ड किया है हायरार्की के ऑर्डर में, दैट इज वर्क स्पेशलाइजेशन. डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर. What is division of labor if you people have heard? What is division of labor class? It won't look, it won't be okay if you people do not reply. Huh? I won't reply from you students. What is division of labor? See, every person over here in a company, when having a particular skill of set, that person will be responsible for carrying out that particular task. A division of labor is nothing but when right uh, when the right work is given to a right candidate. Class. Is so bad. Okay, continuing division of labor. Division of labor is nothing but the degree of activities are subdivided into separate jobs. मतलब हर एक इंसान को they know their clear responsibilities. They are entitled to a certain kind of quality of work, and then they are responsible for that activity to be completed. This helps them to manage resources properly. The next is departmentalization. Now, what is departmentalization? What question is asked? on what basis are job to group together. जो डिपार्टमेंटलाइजेशन है और या फिर सेक्शंस बनाना इन अ बिजनेस, डिपार्टमेंटलाइजेशन और compartmentalization, what is that? So it see, in a company what they can do is they can create a department for different kinds of work. जैसे कि there's a purchase department, there's a sales department, there's a accounts का department, there is let's say a sale supplier के साथ coordinate करने के लिए there's a department, there's a tax department which will look into the taxing system of the business. So departmentalization is creating groups. Now on what basis are those groups supposed to be created? जैसे मैंने पहले जो अभी आपको एग्जांपल दिया अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट के, दैट इज विद द नेचर ऑफ द वर्क. तो वो नेचर ऑफ वर्क क्या है, बेसिस ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन है, उसके बेसिस पे अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट्स बने हैं. दिस इज वन ऑफ द technique used to create organization structure where in a business different departments are made. Understood? A department, suppose there's a human resource department, this the people in one single department is are will be responsible for kind of a similar activity. उस डिपार्टमेंट का जो काम करने का तरीका होगा या जो लोग होंगे, everybody will be towards achieving that departmental goal. The next is chain of command. Now, what is chain of command? Hierarchy of authority. To whom do the individuals and groups report? See, everybody might know कि आपको जो आपके supervisors होते हैं, head होते हैं, उनका एक chain of command होता है जो follow होता है. Hierarchy के through positions दी जाती है. So many company will take that into account while creating an organization structure for them. कि a particular individual or an individual at a particular post will be reporting back to what level of managers or top managers. The next is span of control. Now, what is span of control? Span of control means the number of team members that report to a given manager. एक पर्टिकुलर टीम मतलब a single person is responsible for how many employees, that is nothing but span of control. How many workers can a manager effectively and efficiently direct? एक मैनेजर अपने अंदर, एक टीम लीडर अपने अंदर कितने लोगों को ले सकता है, वो क्या डिसाइड करता है, उसका स्पैन ऑफ कंट्रोल. व्हाट डज दैट डिसाइड्स द स्पैन ऑफ कंट्रोल? स्पैन ऑफ कंट्रोल मतलब वो कितने लोगों को कंट्रोल कर सकता है. यहाँ पे कंट्रोल करने का मतलब होता है डायरेक्ट करना, गाइड करना और उनके वर्किंग को मॉनिटर करना. दैट इज व्हाट अ मैनेजर डज. उन सब चीजों में व्हाट आर द अमाउंट ऑफ workers that can be a part of one single or can work under one single manager. So that is span of control. Even this helps in determining the stage, the organizational structure. The last one is formalization, and then we'll do centralization and decentralization. So now what is formalization? To what degrees are written rules and regulations and procedures established? To what degrees the rules and ये standardization जो होता है, जो guidelines होती है, to what degrees are they present in an organization? Formalization determines how much standardizing is there across the organization. कितने standards को follow किया जाता है. See, this may affect the function system, job description, and flow of information. Organizations with high formalizations uh, are हाईली सिस्टमैटिक मतलब जिनमें जो गाइडलाइंस होते हैं, स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन बहुत हाई है, दे वांट एवरीथिंग टू दैट स्टैंडर्ड। वहां पे जो सिस्टम होता है वो हाईली क्या होगा, आई से जो वहाँ पे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होंगे वो हाईली क्या होंगे, सिस्टमेटिक। और उनका जो काम करने का तरीका होगा वो प्रॉपर एक चेन ऑफ कमांड को फॉलो करेगा। दैट इज नथिंग बट फॉर्मलाइजेशन। One is left, that is centralization and decentralization. Now come on, these two words are very simple, and I hope everybody knows the meaning of these two words. Even if not, try wrong words, but tell me the meaning. Come on, tell me what is centralization and decentralization in organization. Okay, tell me are the five other aspects or elements clear? आप पहले division of labor करोगे, मतलब every employee is supposed to know what kind of work they are doing. Second, departments create होते हैं. Those departmentalization means creating a group or department for likewise activities. Next, chain of command, creating a hierarchy or the order in which every individual is supposed to report to the higher authorities. The next is span of control, how much worker can a single manager manage effectively and efficiently, dealing with everything else. The next is formalization. It is standardizing the procedures and qualities in a business. Next, centralization and decentralization. What is centralization and decentralization, class?
Means the power of the decision making by the authority, or decentralization means commonly manually making the power. What I think.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay. Centralization and decentralization. See, centralization matlab every the power resides in one particular person. The power resides with one particular authority. The decision making is done via one single person or one single authority, and every other person is supposed to follow the same chain of command. Okay, and what is decentralization? Where every individual has their own set of responsibilities and authority. So centralization and decentralization is basically a structure which a company or a organization can follow while deciding or creating their own structure. Centralization मतलब एक ही head होगा, that head may be the CEO, that head may be uh, that head may be even a, what I'll say, उसके CFOs हो गए और ये सारे लोग, तो जो मेजर पावर है दैट इज रिसाइडिंग विद दोस rather than with rather than with all the employees. उनके पास है वो पावर, सबके पास नहीं है. जैसे मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल एक्सप्लेन, आई सी देयर इज अ बिजनेस. नाउ इन अ स्ट्रक्चर्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन व्हाट विल हैपन इज, एक प्रेसिडेंट होगा या जो बिजनेस को हैंडल करता है मेजर शेयर होल्डर. दैट प्रेसिडेंट will have directly four different departments and different regions. अब अगर वो सेंट्रलाइज्ड है, मतलब उन सब के बेसिस पे भी जो डिसीजन होगा, दैट विल हैव टू गो थ्रू द प्रेसिडेंट. In centralized organizations, decisions are made by high level managers and distributed down the chain of command. मैनेजर कोई डिसीजन लेगा और उसको फिर धीरे धीरे नेक्स्ट 2 days में किस तरह तक पहुंचाया जाता है. इट इज रीच टू द कंज्यूमर्स जिन्होंने डिमांड किया था. Now see, this centralized organization structures have a range of advantages. Now what advantages do they have? So they have better governance. They have a straightforward chain of command. उनको now these people, when I'm talking about centralized organization structure में there are companies like which companies I'll say an individual team manager must run upon the request of chain of command before going forward. मतलब कल को किसी एक मैनेजर को कोई डिसीजन लेना है तो he cannot change the decision without running it through the higher authorities. जब higher authorities हर decision making में involve होते हैं, that is centralization. What is decentralization then? What is
Is anybody
decentralization then?
manually taking the decision?
Not manually, it is not about being manual or as such. It is more like every region or every department is basically responsible for their own decision making. Along with responsibility, they have been given a certain amount of power or authority to take decisions. The power resides, or the power has been distributed among different level of employees. In a decentralized structure, what will happen is low level employees they will identify issues and make decisions without communicating them up to the chain of command or upper management. जो छोटे छोटे decisions है उसको वो क्या कर सकते हैं in decentralized structure. Those people are allowed to what first thing identify the issue, and second make changes or take decisions to reduce it. See, even if it is a decentralized ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, अगर वो डिसेंट्रलाइज्ड है, मतलब सपोज एक पर्टिकुलर हेड ऑफिस है, उसके बाद 4 ब्रांच ऑफिस है, तो एवरी ब्रांच मैनेजर विल हैव इट्स ओन पावर टू टेक डिसीजंस एंड एवरीथिंग. But even after that, the hierarchy will still exist. Hierarchy खत्म नहीं होती है. Decentralization means sharing of power, responsibility and authority. But decentralization doesn't means that the hierarchies have vanished in the business. The hierarchies still exist. Is it clear? So it is mostly about uh, sharing of responsibility and I'll say uh, sharing of responsibilities and authorities among different levels of business or different chain of command, and that is nothing, and that is decentralization. In decentralization it becomes easy for low level employees to have their opinions said out loud and will then ensure that it is considered while making changes. Is it clear?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so we'll start with the next part. These are certain elements which a company takes into consideration while studying or while making their own organization structure. As an investor, we also look into this to understand the organization structure. Give me a minute to share the new slide. Okay, so the next part is where we will be discussing certain types of organization structure. The first one is functional organization structure. I'll repeat again. The first one is functional organization structure. Now, what does that means? फंक्शनल मतलब क्या होता है? काम. फंक्शन मतलब क्या? काम, किसी पर्टिकुलर काम. तो द फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर ग्रुप्स एम्प्लॉयज इनटू डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स बाय वर्क स्पेशलाइजेशन. वो एम्प्लॉयज को ग्रुप करता है. ग्रुपिंग इज बेस्ड ऑन द डिपार्टमेंट एंड the names or the departments are classified again on the basis of the work specialization. तो उस तरीके से every department has a designated leader highly experienced in the job of the functions of each employee supervised by them. Of course, each department will have a leader and that leader will be highly experienced in the job. So every time we are talking about working of these functional departments, that they are supervised by those lead or head managers. Now see, what are the different functional departments? There can be production department, marketing department, sales department, HR department, finance department. In this or functional organization structure, the departments are made and the departments are based on the function which they'll have to carry out. Now, what is the main challenge when a company works in the organization structure, having functional structure? The coordination between these departments. These departments are all interrelated. Their working are all interrelated. So, a default or late in one of the companies will lead to overall uh, miscommunication in the company. Uh, for example, let's say the production department is seeing that they are out of inventory or stock, and that's the reason they want to make new product. But what if the finance department says that even though the production is less, we do not have enough finance to provide for further production. So the work of production has been struck or countered by the finance department. Similarly, it can happen with sales or HR. तो इस तरीके से in functional group organization, the dependency of the departments on each other increases. My voice was audible to you people, right? Because I thought my Bluetooth got connected. Students, before this, was my voice
Yes,
audible to you?
yes, ma'am. Your voice was audible.
Okay, great. So this is about functional. Now, the next is a different type of organization structure. Let me share the slide. Just give me a minute. The next type of organization structure is divisional organization structure. Now, what is a divisional organization structure? Division wise, the company is divided into different business units. Let's say a single company has different branches at different locations. XYZ company has its three divisions or branches or business units, one at Delhi, another at Mumbai, another at Kolkata. तो ये तीनों के जो ब्रांचेस है या तीनों के जो डिविजन्स है वो अलग काम करेंगे, एंड दीज डिविजन्स will have complete control over their budget, over their resources, over their strategic planning or decision making. They'll act as an independent company by themselves. तो इसमें जो ओवरऑल कंपनी है वो क्या कर रही है, एक डिवीजन बेस्ड स्ट्रक्चर रख रही है. एवरी डिवीजन इज अ डिफरेंट एंड इज एक्टिंग लाइक अ डिफरेंट कंपनी और एंटरप्राइज. एंड ईच डिवीजन देन में हैव उनका खुद का डिपार्टमेंट्स. मतलब जैसे यहाँ पे फोटो में आपको दिख रहा है एक सीईओ है. सीईओ का 3 रीजन में है, रीजन ए, रीजन बी एंड रीजन सी. So suppose those are 3 branches. In each branch, then they have departmental structure. Production department है, sales है, marketing है. ये हर एक region में भी आएगा. So the overall structure is divisional. There are 3 divisions created, and in each division they may have their own departments. Now, when will this divisional structure come into picture? वो कौन से टाइप के बिजनेस के लिए क्या होगा, सुटेबल होगा? So business with like multinational companies, business with multiple outlets. For that, those companies, it is very this divisional structure works well. जैसे मैंने बात किया, suppose आपका ब्रांड्स होते हैं जो इम्पोर्टेंट फ्रेंचाइजीज होती है खाने की, उन लोग क्या करते हैं, तो डू नॉट लुक इनटू ओवरऑल. वो हर एक प्लेस का एक डिवीजन क्रिएट किया है, उस डिवीजन के हिसाब से वो काम करेंगे. एवरी डिवीजन विल हैव देयर ओन सेट ऑफ एम्प्लॉयज फॉर अकाउंटिंग, ओन सेट ऑफ एम्प्लॉयज फॉर कुकिंग. अगर ईटेबल का या आपका कुकिंग आउटलेट या फूड आउटलेट है, तो उनका शेफ अलग होगा, उनके वेटर्स या जो सर्विस स्टाफ होगी वो अलग होगी, उनका अकाउंट्स और बिलिंग डिपार्टमेंट अलग होगा. तो इन ईच रीजन दे माइट हैव डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ व्हाट डिपार्टमेंट्स. जैसे एचआर हो सकता है, फाइनेंस हो सकता है, रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट हो सकता है. So every region will then have departments within them, but the overall it is divisional structure. Many big or multinational companies do adopt to these kind of structure for easy, I'll say for easy working of the business, to ensure that उसको जितनी बार भी decision लेना है, they do not have to go to the other branches or other companies out. Reason for that is it will increase the timing. मतलब जो आपका टाइमिंग होता है, जो कॉस्ट होता है, उस प्रोसेस को फॉलो करने में, if the process is very lengthy and if there are many militaries which they'll have to report to, that process, the time in that completion of the activity will increase. Now the market, this divisional organization structure also has different entities. जैसे कि market based structure. Now what is a market based divisional structure? यहाँ पे the outlets are divided not by location but the type of प्रोडक्ट दे आर ऑफरिंग. जैसे कि एक हो सकता है सेपरेट फॉर चिल्ड्रंस टॉय, एक हो सकता है जस्ट फॉर क्लोथिंग, एक हो सकता है जस्ट फॉर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स. लेट्स से मैंने अगर बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट है, प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड डिविजनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, एक कंपनी है, दे आर ऑफरिंग प्रोडक्ट्स इन मल्टीपल लाइंस. तो वो हर एक लाइन का let's say they are producing 2 products. The example may be वो क्या कर रहे हैं, तो पार्ले. Now पार्ले as a company has its chocolates, it has its wafers as well. तो जो चॉकलेट का कंपनी है वो पूरा अलग डिवीजन है, जो वेफर्स का मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करेंगे वो पूरा अलग डिवीजन है. अब उन डिविजन्स के अंदर भी बहुत सारे काम होंगे. दीज थिंग्स विल बी अगेन, ये सारे डिविजन्स का प्रॉफिट वापस से किसके पास जाएगा, तो सीईओ के पास जाएगा. एंड देन ही माइट बी एबल टू कैलकुलेट द ओवरऑल प्रॉफिट और profitability of the business. This is nothing but divisional structure of organization. The next one is a matrix structure. Let me share the page. I hope the new structure of the slide is visible. Okay. Now, what is a metric structure? A metrics structure or metrics organization structures is nothing but with team members, I will say, or different team members will report to several managers at once. In metric structure, a team manager will report to different uh, supervisors or different heads at once. एग्जाम्पल जहाँ पे स्ट्रक्चर देखो आप, तो देयर इज अ प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर ए, प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर बी. अब एक ही मार्केटिंग टीम है. द मार्केटिंग टीम इज सिंगल. This marketing team is responsible for product A also and for product B also. So the product manager will go and talk about marketing to the main marketing team, and the product manager of B will also go to the same marketing team for their product. तो एक ही प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर ए है, वो क्या करेगा, तो वो मार्केटिंग हेड को भी रिपोर्ट करेगा, वो प्रोडक्शन हेड को भी रिपोर्ट करेगा, वो सेल्स में भी बात करेगा, वो एचआर में भी बात करेगा. he'll also talk to the head of the finance. So this is a metric structure when one particular employee is reporting to multiple I'll say multiple authorities or multiple supervisors at once. वो multiple लोगों को साथ में क्या कर रहे हैं, तो they are giving a matrix. Now what is the point of having a report to multiple supervisors? Why is it important? So understand that having multiple supervisors allows company for wide interaction and fast project delivery. जो interaction होता है, that will increase the project, the speed of the project delivery can be increased. What is good over here is that in a metrics organization structure, the employees or the flexibility to pull employees into more important projects at will. जो important projects है, उन employees को आप क्या कर सकते हो, उस तरफ shift कर सकते हो. Now, what is the problem of this? Over here, it often leads to conflicts among leaders and project managers. जो project manager है, जैसे project manager A का हो गया या B का हो, उसका ideas और इतने सारे डिपार्टमेंट में जिनसे वो डील कर रहा है, those ideas may not usually be same or they may not always come to one single point of कंक्लूजन. तो इससे क्या होता है, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट क्रिएट होता है बिटवीन दीज मेनी अथॉरिटीज एंड द प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर. Next, for the product managers, it has a certain confusion on authority कि whom they are report to. जैसे ये सब लोग will be report these the department of ये the product manager will be reporting to all these authorities, and then these authorities will be reporting to the CEO or the head of the business. So that is metric structure. In metric structure, where is this metric structure usually used? It is best suited for companies who are working on projects or कंसल्टिंग फर्म्स जो प्रोजेक्ट बेसिस पे काम करते हैं, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बेसिस पे काम करते हैं. फॉर दोस कंपनी इट इज वेरी इजी टू हैव अ मैट्रिक स्ट्रक्चर. आर दीज थ्री कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर क्लास? हमने तीन टाइप के ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर किए. पहला था आपका फंक्शनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर, दूसरा था डिविजनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर, तीसरा था मैट्रिक्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर. Are these three concepts clear? Then we will move to the next one. React in a certain way, class. Nisarg, Agam, Dhvani, Deep.
Yes, ma'am.
What about others? React with an emoji.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So next is a network-based structure. Now, what is a network-based structure? So network structure goes far beyond your internal company structure. क्योंकि जैसे आप network बोलते हो, there are other people involved, and these people will be, some of them will be externals of the external to the college. Sorry, not मतलब not college, company. I'm so sorry. Uh, एक्सटर्नल टू द कंपनी. बहुत सारे जो फैक्टर्स होते हैं वो उसके कंपनी के एक्सटर्नल पे आ सकते हैं एंड देन द नेटवर्क इज क्रिएटेड. So typically a network organization outsources independent contracts or vendors to complete the work. The teams are built from full-time employees as well as freelance specialists. जो कुछ ऐसे स्पेशल टास्क होते हैं फॉर देम. For that, they might not employ a full-time person, but a specialist in the field may be hired on contractual basis. Company core or a hub is created. This is manufacturing by a company in Asia, or distribution by a company in Europe, accounts receivable by a company in the US, उनको बेचा है मतलब, design by a company in Canada, transportation by a company in Korea. Now they are taking examples. इसमें जो examples लिए वो international level पे लिए. Let's understand it better in this way कि आप अपने बिजनेस के कुछ पार्ट्स को क्या करते हैं, आउटसोर्स करते हैं, एक नेटवर्क क्रिएट करते हैं विद सप्लायर्स, विद दोस थर्ड पार्टीज टू एंश्योर दैट द वर्क इज डन स्मूथली विदाउट एनी प्रॉब्लम. जैसे आपकी फ्रेंचाइजीज होती हैं, उन फ्रेंचाइजीज को अगर आपको आउटसोर्स करना है, आप अपने लॉजिस्टिक्स को आउटसोर्स कर सकते हैं यूजिंग अ थर्ड पार्टी. So that is network hub or a network organization structure. Now there is also something known as flat organization structure. What is flat organization structure? और इसको दूसरा नाम बोलते हैं हम horizontal structure. This horizontal structure is like in small companies. जो आपकी small companies होती है, जो sole proprietors होते हैं. Wait, I'm sharing the picture. I hope the new structure is visible. Now, this is a horizontal structure. What is a horizontal structure? So, understand small business companies where only one owner is there and all the other people are employee of the company. Direct employee, no other post, no other departments. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. Those people are just working for the designate given job. उनका जो रोल्स है वो डिफाइन है, बट वो सब क्या है, सिर्फ एम्प्लॉयज है. देयर इज अ मैनेजर और ओनर, और उसके बाद जितने भी नीचे हैं सबके सब क्या है, तो एम्प्लॉयज है. देयर इज नो वर्टिकल, देयर इज नो ये वर्टिकल स्ट्रक्चर एज सच. एम्प्लॉयज है, एम्प्लॉयज के बाद सीधा हेड है. नो वन इज इन्वॉल्व इन between of that structure, and that's the reason it is known as flat horizontal structure or horizontal structure. Is it not visible? Is the
Ma'am, it is
screen?
easy visible.
Okay, because from my end it is not showing. Okay. The flat organization structure where the transition to different level is not there, only one level of top managers and directly employees. There are very few middlemen or middle managers in this kind of structure. The structure requires less supervision, and supervision is very less. It increases the employees, what it increases the employees involvement, and thus it creates a trust level in the workspace. Now this is always useful for smaller companies, for quick startups जो होते हैं, उसमें ही ये टेक्निक या उसमें ही ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर क्या होगा, बेनिफिशियल होगा. Is it clear? That is the flat organization structure or horizontal organization structure. So I believe we have discussed five of them. The first one was functional organization structure. The second was divisional, then followed by matrix. The last one is a vertical or a horizontal organization structure. A network based structure. So these are different organization structure. Now understand that आपको ये सब चीजों का क्या काम है. Why is it important to study organization structure? We started with the meaning, then the key elements to be taken into consideration, then different types of organization structure. Companies may create their own organization structure according to their requirement. वो अपने requirement के हिसाब से they work or have possible roles and structure designed for ease of governance. हम corporate governance और वो सीख रहे थे management, उसमें हमने सीखा कि ensuring everything is done properly, but it will be done only properly if the people in the company are well versed with the roles and responsibilities they are given. अगर उनको उसमें ही problem है तो they can never function properly. So that's the reason a proper organization structure helps in running the business properly. Business में rules follow हो रहे, commands proper हो रहे, there's a certain decision which is to be taken. तो कितने लोगों को consider करना है, कौन से aspects को cover करना है, कितने क्या उन लोगों के पास एक्सपर्टीज है. अगर वो डिपार्टमेंटल बेसिस पे है तो पहले एग्जीक्यूटिव्स या लोअर लेवल होंगे, फिर वो अपने टीएल को बोलेंगे, वो अपने मैनेजर को बोलेंगे, वो मैनेजर अपने डिपार्टमेंट हेड को बोलेगा, डिपार्टमेंट हेड विल टेक इट टू बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स और द सीईओ. So the proper hierarchy is supposed to be followed, and this will ensure कि अगर decentralization है, लोगों के पास power है, so with that authority they can ensure that the task which is assigned to them is completed. A proper or smooth run organization structure will help in maintaining proper production level, with help in ensuring that the business is running smoothly. So when the business will be running smoothly, only then it will be profitable for the investors. To understand who are the people at the top management, are they expertise enough, do they have the knowledge, are they good at decision making, ये सब चीजों से पता करके you can understand the working of a company, कि उस कंपनी का वर्किंग स्ट्रक्चर क्या, वर्किंग एनवायरनमेंट या वर्किंग वे कैसा है. क्लियर. सो विद दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर का पार्ट हो गया है, एंड वी आर डन विथ 1 hour सेशंस ऑफ टुडे. द नेक्स्ट आई बिलीव ओनली 1 or 2 hour सेशन इज लेफ्ट. तो एक दिन अगर मैं 2 घंटे का ले रही हूँ तो दैट विल बी इनफ, और एल्स आई बी टेकिंग 1 1 hour 2 sessions, and then we can wind up the portion. Not much is left to be discussed, only 2 hours I believe will be take, more will be required. Students, you are allowed to leave if you do not have any doubt. If you have any doubt, do ask now regarding the topic which we discussed today. Nobody has any doubt? Okay. So I am ending the meeting for all then. Bye.